All right, guys, welcome back to Frame Per Minute. Minute per frame?
Frame per minute.
Frame Per Minute. And today we're going to be talking about Pokemans. We're your hosts, Jarynn and
Jeffrey, because we want to be the very best.
like no one ever was.
Catch them is our real test.
To train them is our cause.
We're just gonna sing the whole song. We're just gonna sing all of it.
Just very monotonely.
Yeah, we're the most least energetic.
The least energetic as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
that's the exact way.
We're very cynical.
Exactly. Perfect.
So today we're talking about Pokemon and the future of the franchise. And right now, they just released footage footage of the new Pokemon game that's coming out in November, Generation 8.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Did you see the pictures of the starters? Did you see any videos of them?
Yeah, there's the owl.
Yeah.
There's the Down syndrome owl. The fire cat with the weird whiskers. That looks like it's gonna grab you and eat you.
Yeah.
And then there's the other one.
Yeah, the one that no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
What do you think? If you had to pick between those three, which one would you pick?
The owl, most definitely. He looks beautiful.
Yeah, the owl looks cute. I think my favorite thing about it is that it looks like it has a bow tie. I think.
Oh my god, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love the fire one looks like a cat, and I love cats, but I think just because the owl has a bow tie, I think it won, and it's an owl. Like, who doesn't love owls? Owls are like one of the coolest animals ever. So. The owl has a point already for it being an owl, and then it has an extra point because it has a bow tie. And usually, the grass ones are always like the worst ones. I've only picked grass once, and that was Gen 4.
Really? The very first time I played first gen, I picked Bulbasaur.
Oh, you picked Bulbasaur. You were that guy.
I was that guy.
You were that guy.
Oh, I was that guy.
I can't believe it. Usually people pick Squirtle or Charmander.
No, those were boring.
Those are boring. Yeah. Oh, you wanted to beat Brock easy peasy.
Well, I mean, I didn't even know Brock existed, to be honest. When I played
in the first game.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't even know.
The Rock Gym.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Like I was like that one looks like it has a cancerous bulb on its back, so I felt bad for it, so I picked it.
Yeah, that's why I picked Pokemon, because I feel so shitty that it has like a tumor on it. Yeah, that's awful.
No, I picked it because like I like the whips.
Oh yeah, because of the TV show, right?
Yeah, because of the TV show.
Yeah. Yeah. The TV show was pretty awesome. I tried to watch it now, and I'm just like, this is the corniest thing I've ever seen. Like,
Ash has grown up. He's grown up like a lot. He has brown eyes now. It's not just black. It
looks
really? A lot less creepy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You've watched the newer episodes?
I watched like a couple.
I can't watch them. I feel like they're too like cringeworthy. As a child, I could watch them because the power of friendship is really important as a child, and I think the power of friendship's cool and all, but like it's just the way they present it is so cheesy, and I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
I agree. Yeah.
Like, I have to turn it off.
I agree. It's kind of. I mean, I'd still watch it, but I also have a problem with how many Pokemon there are.
Oh, you do? You're one of those?
Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Okay.
I understand them, progressing more and more Pokemon, but now there's like a million jillion Pokemon.
There's 700 and something Pokemon right
exactly. Now. I mean, which is? Let me ask you a question. Which is the first Pokemon? Arceus, Bulbasaur, Mew, or the one in the movie, the God one? I forgot his name.
The God one?
Yeah.
I thought Arceus was the God one.
Arceus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one of those was the first Pokemon?
Isn't Arceus the first Pokemon?
I don't know.
Because he apparently...
In the Pokédex, Bulbasaur is the first one.
Oh my... You can't be serious.
I'm just saying.
You can't be... This is up for discussion. This is up for discussion.
Are you Team Captain or Team Iron Man?
That was last episode. It's are you Team Rocket or are you Team Ash
Red.
or Team Red? Yeah, Team Red. Oh man,
Red's the only good one.
Red is so cool. I can't believe they missed out. I can't believe the actual TV show missed their chance on, like it took them so long for them to come out with a show with Red. And Red is so cool. I wish they actually did a show with Red instead of Ash because Ash is such a loser.
He is such a loser.
Like as a kid, I loved Ash, but then like now that I'm grown up, I'm just like he didn't earn any of those badges. They just gave it to him for free.
And they were like, "Get out of here, kid. Get out."
Yeah, seriously.
We have real stuff to do.
Yeah, seriously. But Red, I remember playing Pokemon Gold as a kid, and I played against Red, and you just walk up. I think it was Mount Silver or something like that. Someone's gonna correct me about this and say, "No, you're wrong. It's not Mount Silver. It's Mount blah blah blah." Yeah. So I remember going up Mount Silver, and there was Red, and you walk up to him, and you press A, and then it is the little dot bubble things. He doesn't speak, so that was his gimmick. So he doesn't speak, and then you just go straight into the battle, and it's this like really awesome like music, and then he has a Pikachu, and then he has all 3 original starter Pokemon.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it was the most badass thing ever as a child. And
Yeah,
that's why I still play Pokemon to this day. Like memories like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, unlike most of you, I've never actually completed a game of Pokemon.
Oh, you haven't?
I've never completed a game of Pokemon.
Well, what do you consider completing? Because
like made it to like the Epic 6 or whatever that is at the end.
oh, the Elite Four.
Elite 4, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because with Pokemon, it's so there's so many things that count as like completing the game. I guess beating the Elite Four is one of the things that you can do, but I've never beaten or completed a game of Pokemon, which for me is catching all the Pokemon and filling in the Pokedex.
I've never done that either.
Yeah,
I've caught like max 60, and then I was
yeah.
like, I'm good.
Yeah, and I like battling a lot, but I think my favorite thing to do is try and catch all the Pokemon. I think that's the best part about it, and that's what the original guy, the creator of Pokemon, he was a bug catcher and he liked trading and collecting bugs, so that's why Pokemon is all about trading and collecting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I guess that must be one of the most important aspects of the game. It's a fun aspect, I think.
I definitely agree. Collecting stuff is always fun.
And it's easier to do it these days, especially with the Wi-Fi connectivity. Yeah, you don't have to carry around a Game Boy like link cable.
Yeah, you kids have it so easy.
It's so easy these days.
We used to have to carry around Game Boys that were the size of our faces and cords that could strangle us and connect it to these things.
Okay, so speaking of strangling someone with a Game Boy cord, I've never done it, but I want to talk. This is just an aside. There was one time where I had the Game Boy here. I have it like right here. Okay, so this is my Game Boy Advance. It's very beautiful. You can see here that the back of it is gone, and there's a reason for that. I was really mad at this one kid when I was little. I was about 5 or 6, and this kid really angered me. And I had my Game Boy in my hand, and he did something to piss me off, so he started running away because he knew I was very angry at him. And this was the only thing that I had in my hand. So I chucked it at the back of his head.
Oh my god. You trying to murder someone with your Game Boy.
And it must have hurt because he ran home crying. Like, he was so, like, he was probably, like, it probably hurt. Like, this is a brick. Don't throw Game Boys at children, okay? At other children, okay?
PSA.
This is a public service announcement. Do not throw your Game Boy Advances at the back of people's heads. I did that as a child. I'm not proud of it.
They should put that in the manual.
They should. I don't think Nintendo intended for a 5-year-old me to throw a Game Boy Advance at the back of someone's head.
I mean, they should have though. Nintendo, this is all your fault.
This is all your fault. They could have sued.
Yeah.
He actually walked home crying. I felt really bad about it. Once I threw it, I realized, like, wow, that was a piece of shit. I'm actually a piece of shit. and I only felt like a piece of shit because I was like, what am I gonna play with? I can't play with anything anymore.
Yeah, now you have to play with the cord and the thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, imagine throwing a 3DS now. Oh, it'd shatter into a million pieces. You know how durable these things are?
Those things are bricks. You know the original Game Boy? there was this soldier in World War II.
Yeah.
He brought his Game Boy. He was playing it with it when he was at war, and a mortar hit, and he lost his Game Boy. It's in a museum in Japan, I think, and it's still working today.
Oh, is that the one that plays Tetris?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's still working today, and that's like 50 years later. It survived a mortar shell. Imagine if he like threw that at the back of someone's head. That kid would be dead.
Yeah, he would have exploded on the spot.
Just like bam.
Yeah, like he would have like went to like just ashes. He just would have felt like imploded. You know how great that would have been. No, I'm kidding.
Be a murderer.
I'm kidding. You shouldn't have pissed me off. Like, come on.
Should have pissed him off. Yes.
I still have this Game Boy. I will
Yeah.
find you, and I won't do anything because this is on camera.
Next time.
Next time. Which is your favorite Pokemon game?
I mean, I always have a soft spot for the original. My very first one was Fire.
Oh,
Fire Red.
Fire Red. Yeah.
Or Red. Well, it was Red before. It was just Red.
Yeah, it was just Red. There were
Yeah.
the first
One was
first
just
three.
Red. Yeah.
First three were red, blue, and yellow, and Japan had green, and then after that, gold, silver.
Yeah, I only, to be honest, I only owned two Pokemon games. It was Fire and Silver.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
All right. So yeah, I know a lot of people who just played the first two, and then after that, when the third generation came around, they didn't really play after that. I played the third generation first, and then I played
the first game.
Yeah, the first two after that. Well, actually, I owned Gen 3, and then I played the same friend who I threw the Game Boy at the back of the head.
Oh, you're still friends afterwards?
Well, it was his brother.
Ah.
Yeah, there were three of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the youngest one, and then the oldest one, he had Pokemon Gold, and I would play that.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, I remember getting Pokemon Ruby for Christmas in 2003. And that was a lot of fun, and I played that a lot. And then after that, I got Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I picked Charmander because Charizard's awesome.
What does that say?
And then I picked our favorite game. So I was saying well, in my opinion, I think my favorite it's a tie between Yellow or probably Pokemon Y that came out 2 years ago. Mostly because like I'm different from a lot of people. I like the newer games a lot. Mostly because I like playing it competitively, and I like catching all the Pokemon. And even though some of them do look really stupid, I
the vanilla ice cream cone?
Yeah, but I mean when people say like, oh, the vanilla ice cream cone one is stupid, it's not as stupid as like Muck or Grimer. Like that was stupid too. I feel like people have nostalgia, you know? I mean, think of Voltorb and Electrode. Those are like just mixing the colors. They look like Pokeballs.
But that was their thing, though. That was their thing. They were supposed to be like Pokeballs, and then they explode on kids. Murder. Don't tell me that Pokemon isn't a game about murdering kids.
So, like, are they supposed to walk? It's like a landmine. They just step on it. And
the kids just blow up. Their legs are blown apart. Ah!
You know, in the originals, Lieutenant Surge, one of the gym leaders, talks about like there being a war or something that. I bet they planted like Voltorbs and Electrodes.
Oh yes, and then just moms and dads all across the country just get their legs blown off. That's the reason there's no parents. There's only like 3 adults in the originals. Well, all the adults are dead.
Well, Professor Oak sends you out to seduce your mom. Yeah. Because someone has to fornicate with someone and repopulate.
You have to repopulate. I mean, Professor Oak and your mom. That's connections right there.
Yeah, that's connection. That's true love.
I mean, otherwise, why would he send a 10-year-old out to get more Pokemon, like Pokemon indexes? I mean, he only has like 2. Like, what was he doing his entire life? Nothing. He was just waiting to bang your mom.
Yeah, seriously. Professor Oak wants you to fill the entire Pokedex, and even like it must have all the information on it. So someone must have seen all the Pokemon. Exactly. Yeah.
He's just trying to distract the little kid so he can get in there and be like, "Boop, I'm inside you. Let's make you a little brother."
So your favorite game is Fire Red then, right?
Yeah. Just go back. Yeah. My favorite game is Fire Edition.
Fire, yeah.
Yeah.
This is one so like vulgar. Like Professor Oak is just railing your mom while you're gone, and you have Mr. Mime, that creepy mime-looking Pokemon, just watching outside the window.
Yeah. This went a completely different turn than I expected it to be.
Well, you know what they say. What's muck spelled backwards?
I'm not gonna say it.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a kid's show.
It's PG.
This is supposed to be a PG-13 kids show. So we're just gonna edit that whole part out. Maybe not. We'll see.
Not on my podcast.
Not on our podcast.
Not on my podcast.
So okay, you know your favorite game. So what's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh man, that's tough. You know, I think it might be basic, but I think, well, I like a lot of the popular ones. I like Pikachu a lot. I like Mewtwo a lot. Greninja is also one of my favorite ones too. He's newer, so I think when that owl one comes out, when I see the final stages of it, I think I'll really like that one too. But I think just overall, I think Mewtwo is the coolest, mostly because he can like do stuff with his mind, and he can just mess you up that way. He doesn't even have to touch you. And then in Smash Brothers, he was like one of the coolest characters, I thought, even though he sucked, except for PM. Are we even allowed to say PM?
I mean, if you
Don't sue us, Nintendo.
Please. We have no money.
Okay, Smash. Oh, and actually, he's really good in Smash 4, Smash for Wii U. So I really like Mewtwo a lot. Who's your favorite?
My favorite. This is not going to be a surprise for people who know me. It's Snorlax.
This isn't a surprise at all.
That's what I thought. I mean, he sleeps all day. He blocks roads for children. Keeps them safe.
Do you block roads for children?
I love just blocking roads for children. Just like no passing. He loves to eat. That's the only reason he moves. It's great. I mean, like, I feel like if he was a real animal, I'd have one.
You'd have one.
If I can only have one, if I can bring one Pokemon to life and have him as a pet, Snorlax. I mean, that seems really inconvenient because you have to feed him a lot.
Yeah.
But you can just... He'll find his own food. He'll make his way back eventually, too.
He'll find his own food in your house. He'll just get all the food in your house. He won't even wait for you to make it.
That's fine.
He's going to steal it.
I don't mind. It's either that one or Abracadabra because he has spoons.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he's supposed to eat the ice cream Pokemon.
Exactly. I mean, like, you can see where my train of thought's going.
You think Pokemons are cannibals? You think Alakazam eats Alakazam eats the ice cream Pokemon?
There's a hierarchy. And
it's like the wild then.
It's
in real life.
like the wild, yeah. Like the really crappy bug Pokemon are eaten by the cooler like snake Pokemon.
Okay, yeah.
And like, like the Pikachus are eaten by like, Psyducks. It's brutal in my mind. Pokemon is brutal in my mind.
Oh my god. Psyduck is like the one who's the least intimidated.
That's exactly the point.
Oh, so it's a defense.
It's a tactic.
It's a defense mechanism
to bring you down. You're like, oh, it's just a Psyduck, and then bam, hypnotizes you, eats you while you're just like drooling right there.
Psyduck always pissed me off on the show. Like he never did anything.
You know what? Who always pissed me off in the show? Wobbuffet.
Oh, Wobbuffet.
I hated him. He's the worst Pokemon.
Oh, so that's your least favorite Pokemon?
That's my least. Well, no. My least favorite Pokemon was Mr. Mime because of how creepy he was. Seriously, he was just in the background of every scene, like. And his powers was just to make force fields and stuff.
Yeah. It was like mirror coat or something like that, or some crazy. Yeah. I think having a least favorite is kind of hard for me, I think. Mostly because, I don't know, there aren't really like a lot of bad ones, I think.
There's plenty of bad ones.
Well, I guess. I mean, some of the ones I don't like are the ones that appear early on in the game. Like all the normal types that show up early on in the game. Like Zigzagoon or whatever in the 3rd generation. Like I didn't like that one, and then I didn't like the version that it evolved into. So like all those really like weak normal types, I just don't really care for.
Can we talk about Diglett for a second?
Yes, we can talk about Diglett.
Why does when you evolve does it make more than one head? It was just why? Is it multiple things just piled together? Then it doesn't make any sense why it would evolve into that. If it's just multiple Digletts.
Yeah, a lot of
is it like you're just it's like your Siamese twins just busting out of you?
Yeah, you're probably.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
If it's Siamese twins of Digletts, just boom, that's how you evolve. Imagine one day you're sleeping and then you just wake up, bam, there's like a head right here. That's not fun. That's not good for you. How will that help your psyche?
You need to see a doctor. We're gonna have to start building Pokemon centers for this.
Yeah.
Do you think
Diglett has cancer? That's the reason that there's multiple heads coming out.
Do you think they like send him to the Pokemon Center and they give like Nurse Joy a scalpel, like remove this now. I don't want to evolve. By then it's already too late. If they start cutting stuff, blood's gonna go everywhere.
Oh my god, that's so awful.
Well, Pokemon's pretty horrifying when you think about it. Oh, do you want to know the worst thing? Whenever I'm on Facebook, and Facebook has this thing where they show like Tumblr posts or whatever,
yeah,
and it's always the pictures of like what if Pokemon were real,
yeah,
and they're just these disgusting like artwork of like
super like hyper realistic.
Yeah, it's gross. I would hate it. And then there was this report of a real life Pokemon movie being made, and it was like you can't do this. It will just ruin Pokemon because it's just so ugly. That it looked like if Michael Bay directed a Pokemon movie. That's how it looked.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. To be honest.
Why?
If they did it well. I mean,
would Michael Bay?
I mean, Michael Bay is not good for subtleties, but the special effects would always be on point, though.
Well, I'm only saying that mostly because it just looked off. It looked awful. It looked like something Michael Bay would direct because I've seen the Ninja Turtle artwork, and
that's pretty bad.
Ninja Turtles look awful, and these Pokemon look awful. So.
Yeah, true.
What were you gonna say before I mentioned the ugly Pokemon artwork?
I mean, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, there's tons of awful things in Pokemon's in the Pokemon's universe. Like Charmander, if you extinguish his tail, he dies. Did you know that?
Yeah.
He dies. He straight up dies.
Yeah. You just...
Like, how are you gonna do that to someone?
they better get one of those lighters to put it back up.
Like, imagine your Charmander dies and like you have to bring a lighter and be like bring him back to life. That's how you resuscitate him. You with the lighter.
You can just pour a little bit of lighter fluid and light it up. Light it up.
This whole podcast is because it's taking a turn south.
Well, light it up like a birthday candle or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, come on. It shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, like some of them are kind of mutated. Like they must have been dropping bombs during those wars in the in pre-Pokemon lore.
Seriously, what's the red thing on the bottom?
Oh, it must be running low on battery.
Oh, it's battery. Okay.
Yeah, they must have been dropping bombs or something in the old Pokemon days for these Pokemon to be so mutated. Like Squirtle, he goes from having like just a shell to having like freaking cannons on his back.
He absorbs tanks, guys.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Yeah, he eats tanks.
As he evolves.
So does that make Squirtle better than Snorlax? Because Snorlax just eats food. and Squirtle eats tanks.
It's true.
I think tanks have more nutritional value than.
Yeah. Get your daily dose of iron.
What if Pokemon were just like the what if like there was Fallout, right?
Yeah.
And then after like many years after like Fallout, like the universe becomes, plentiful and there's actual like nutrients and stuff again, and what happens is that there's Pokemon.
Ooh. I dig it.
What if that were a thing? That's not just any old theory, it's a game theory.
Well, I mean, if you believe in the multiverse theory, then technically Pokemon have to exist. Somewhere in one universe, Pokemon have to exist.
Yeah, Jigglypuff and Kirby are best friends.
Oh god. The movesets. I mean, okay, look, we need to say down Pokemon. But I mean, I don't like how over the generations it's become more and more convoluted though.
What do you mean?
Like the example earlier of which one's the first one.
Oh, okay. So like the overarching story about
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it seems like it's not a knock against them, but it seems that from the beginning they didn't think about the story, and then like a few generations later they're like, oh, we should have a story in this so that people can actually follow it. We can kind of target a more adult audience.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they ever established in the first few games what the very first Pokemon was. I know that in the original Pokemon games, the most lore they had was really about Mewtwo and Mew, where they found Mew in like some sort of safari area or jungle. And then they found Mew DNA, and then they tried to replicate Mew, and then they got Mewtwo. And I think it's heavily implied that all of the failed Mew clones before Mewtwo are Ditto. That's why they're able to transform, and that's why Mew also knows the move transform. So I think Mew's really important. I don't know how important. But I know Arceus is like the god of all Pokemon. Arceus like created all of them, and then you have like your Mews, and then Deoxys is like the space one, which is pretty cool. And then all the legendaries sort of have their own lore and backstories to them. I think the coolest one out of all of them is either Deoxys or Mewtwo, because Mewtwo is like the clone of Mew, and he wants to like he's really powerful, and he wants to prove that he's like the original. At least he did in the movies. So I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He has his own character.
I mean, that is pretty cool. But, I mean, so as far as the lore goes in canon, how many Mewtwo's are there?
There's only one, I think, in canon. I think, I don't know. That's kind of hard because, like in the game, you can obviously have two Mewtwo's battling each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if Pokemon has ever come out and said like, oh, there's only one Mewtwo, and then like when you do online battles or trade, that's when like the game no longer becomes canon or anything. I would think that's how it would be, because in my mind there's only like one Mewtwo, since you can only catch one in each game.
Yeah.
And then there's only like one of each legendary, since in each game you can only catch one.
Yeah.
And then there's many other Pokemon, and all of the more important ones you only have like one chance to catch them. And then once you do the online stuff, that's when like the game no longer becomes canon. So I think it would be really cool if they did something like that, kind of like what they did with The Legend of Zelda, when they had to, sort of like debunk like, oh, this is like what's canon, and then this is like how you follow like all of it. Like if they just come out with some sort of timeline, like with The Legend of Zelda, like how they did with The Legend of Zelda, then it would be like very easy to follow, I think.
I agree. All right, guys. So I think we're out of time, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching our little vlogcast.
Vlogcast.
I like that one. Vlogcast?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Tell us what you feel about what we said in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, comment. We'll respond
post.
to you. We'll respond to you as best as we can. Have a nice day.
Peace.